understand. How can she contemplate the lay of her land? She's leading, she's feeling, she's in overdrive. She was born to dominate, the strong survive.
Well, good morning from Carlisle Station. I'm currently sat on the 8:52 train for Newcastle, heading down to London King's Cross. Unfortunately, I've got to go this way because there's maintenance line on the West Coast main line, so I've got to go by the East Coast. So, on we go. Another day of my adventures. Well, I've set off earlier than I thought, but it's, I think I'm on the wrong train. This is the 8:33. Never mind, hopefully I'll get to Newcastle without having to get off and wait for the next one. Great start to the morning. Well, that was a stroke of luck. The ticket inspector said I was fine to stay on this one, so I don't have to change. I thought I might have to get off at Hogwhistle and wait for my own train coming along. Never mind. We're just about to make a stop at Wetherall. Didn't know trains stop there these days. So we're just coming into Wetherall Station now. Oh well, there's one consolation, at least I'll have a bit longer to wait in Newcastle, because I only had 10 minutes between getting off this train and catching the London train, so this will give me about maybe 25 minutes. So, yeah, welcome to not so sunny Wetherall.
Welcome on board this Northern train to Middlesbrough. The next station stop is Newcastle.
We are now at Darlington.
He doesn't mind sitting the wrong way.
Okay, we're going to go to 1978. I had a huge, massive worldwide million sell all around the world, America included. And in 2024, it was a massive hit all over again. But this time, the techno version by Cyril. From Darwin, on my last Australian to Darwin, all the way to Perth to see me live. So I very nicely went up and shook his hand and said, "Hi, nice to meet you. You stole my song." Tim's gonna help me sing it. And you are gonna help me sing it. So I'm watching, I'm listening. Do not let me down. I love his love. And so we begin. So and me. And we made an album. The album was called Quattro, Scott and Powell, and it got to number 16 in Australia. We're good friends. We're proud of what we created. I want to do a golden oldie from that album. This is called Slow Down. Okay, everybody. I need you all to sing this song. Every single person in this room. Very easy. I'm going to sing it first. And all you got to do is copy me. Okay, so get ready. Keep on rocking the free world. You're turning 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep on rocking the free world. Keep on rocking the free world. Keep on rocking the free world. All right, now let's shoot. Are you ready to go? Something really special for you, but to do this next song, I have to ask my boys and my girls to. This is what I like to call my intimate moment, just you and me. Come to the piano with me. This song was first on my unreleased Emotion album, and this version is on the vinyl of The Devil in Me. But just before I do the song, you know, these classy joints that we play, they always have pianos backstage, so they have one in my dressing room, and I started to write a brand new song. I just want to play just a teeny bit of it, and I will tell by your reaction if you like it. Mine would be Roll Over Beethoven. I always do try to do a song at the piano in honor of my mother and father, who are dancing up there together for a long time now. My mother gave me my life, my father gave me my career. I love you, I miss you every single day. This is called Can I Be Your Girl? When I'm telling you now things I promised I'd never say, On this holy night, I need you so. It's too late now to ever let you go. Can I be your girl? I don't wanna waste my time. Can I share your world? I don't wanna wait in line. Can I be your girl? Well, I said you'd be free, yes, I told you. No strings attached. But could I have known that we'd end up a perfect match? And I find myself so in love with you. It's too late now to say goodbye to you. Can I be your girl? I don't wanna waste my time. Can I share your world? I don't wanna wait in line. Can I be your girl? Cause it's lonely night, I need you so. It's too late now to ever let you go. Can I be your girl? Can I be your girl? Thank you, everybody. That's the end of Act One. I'll be back.
Don't let me hear the sweet
was the first single from my brand new album called Freedom. This one's on March the 27th, went in the charts. And I'm going to do one more song from that album for you. I've done about 250 interviews for this album. And every one of them wanted to know, was this song about me? Well, it's called Little Miss Lovely.
Lovely, she's gonna stay. Miss Lovely, she's gonna stay.
Rule since 1973, and I've stuck to it, that I never ever do a cover song on stage that I haven't actually recorded myself. So the first half you heard Rockin' in the Free World, that of course was Neil Young, but I recorded that on my 2006 Back to the Drive album. And now we're going to go to 2022. I released a 6-track EP called Uncovered. 6 of my favorite tracks that I cut my musical teeth to. I want to do one for you, and I've chosen Creedence Clearwater Revival. Well, it's a no-brainer. They did Susie Q. I'm doing Bad Moon Rising.
Don't fall out tonight when it's bad.
know you all a little bit better. But just before I get started with that, I want to give a shout out to two friends of mine in the audience. Is that you there? I want you to raise your hands when I call your name. You're not famous, sit down. Bruce Welsh from the Shadows. Where is he? Raise your hand, Bruce. There he is. And Frank Allen from the Circlers. Raise your hand. Good. Okay. Now, time to talk to you. I'm going to tell you some stuff about myself, okay? I was born in Detroit, June 3rd, 1950. Exactly, which makes me a very proud 75. I can still do this. So I come from a musical family, 5 children, 4 girls, 1 boy, that's me there. My father was a musician his whole life, and all of his kids, it's not even something to brag about. We all play minimum, read and write and play 3 instruments each. It's just the way we were raised. Yeah, he gave us good stuff. Okay, so 1964, my elder sister, the one on the bottom left there, she decided we should form an all-girl band. So we got 2 sisters from around the corner and another girl on this side whose dad played in my dad's band, and we all got together in the Quattro kitchen and we were discussing a good name for this all-girl band. And somebody said, the Pleasure Seekers. And my mom happened to be standing at the sink. And she came over immediately. She said, oh, no, you don't. You are not calling a teenage all-girl band the Pleasure Seekers. So I said, okay, Mom, do you have another idea? She said, yes. Call yourself the 5 Little Chickadees. So the Pleasure Seekers went on the road. And that band lasted from 1964 all the way up to 1971. We worked constantly all over America. And then a very famous record producer came to Detroit, Mickey Most. He's up there now for a while. Love you. He came over to Detroit with Jeff Beck, Cozy Powell, and they were coming to record at the Motown Studios. My brother found out he was in town and got him to come and see the band I was with. And at the end of the show, Mickey offered me a solo contract. Now the funny thing about that is this was the second time in 1 week that I'd had an offer to go solo. So that is the universe telling you it's time to go. The first one was from Elektra Records, and they wanted to take me to New York and turn me into the next Janis Joplin. Mickey said, come to London and I'll turn you into the first Susie Quattro. So that's kind of a no-brainer. So I got my bass guitar, I packed my suitcase, and I had a cassette of 25 songs that I'd written in preparation. I jumped on the airplane, flew across the ocean, landed here October 31st, 1971. And I still talk like this, it's amazing. Okay, a couple of days later, I'm sitting in the rack offices and Mickey is playing my marathon demo tape. And a little bit worrying, he kept going, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Oh shit, fast forward. Finally, he stopped on a song. It was like 10 seconds of a song, just a little thing that I was doing. And he said, that's the song you work on. So I'm going to play it for you. This is called Ain't You Something, Honey?
Expect
Mickey had a reputation for having wonderful talent spotting. You know, he could spot a guy and he'd go, that one, that one, that one. And he also, I'm going to come down here a bit closer now. He also had great musical ears. So he heard something in that song that pointed the way to my musical future. And he was correct, because by May of 1973, with a nice little boogie, I had my first #1, which goes like this. Later. So that started the Quattro Express train going, and from then we did non-stop TV shows, non-stop radio interviews, non-stop recording sessions, non-stop traveling around the world during gigs, non-stop jet lag. It's just how I live now. Nothing's changed. Okay, rolling through the years. 1977, I was in Japan on tour, and I got a phone call. Would I fly from Tokyo to LA and come and audition for a part in Happy Days? Which I did. Leather Tuscadero, I got the part, which lasted 3 seasons. And the good thing is I have maintained a close friendship with Anson Williams, Donnie Most, Henry Winkler, and Ronnie Howard. So, very pleased with that. And I just got to say, I'm absolutely honored to have been a part of that iconic TV show. Okay, so then I came back here and I did some English shows. I did Minder. I did Dempsey and Makepeace. They killed me in that. I did Midsummer Murders. They killed me in that. I did AdFab, and I stayed alive in that one. Then I went to musical theater. I was Annie Oakley and Annie Yitchik at the Aldrich Theater. Fantastic experience that was. I just loved it. I wrote a musical about Tallulah Bankhead called Tallulah Who, which is up there. And I sent that picture to my mother. And she said, why didn't they use you? Okay, then I went to BBC Radio 2, and I was on that station for 15 years. And I was even up for the Broadcaster of the Year at the Sony Radio Awards, so I'm very proud of that. And would you like to hear my radio voice? Hi everybody, this is Susan Quattro. Welcome to the show. Then I started to write books, and I'm happy to say, very proud to say, I've now published 8 books. An autobiography, thank you, 2 novels, 3 poetry books, a thoughts book, and a lyric book. What are we up to now? We're up to 219. My documentary came out in 219 called Susie Q. If you haven't seen it, see it, because it's a really honest documentary. In fact, it's a funny thing. I was on tour in Australia, knock on the door. A guy standing there, and he says hello, introduces himself, and he says, can I come in? I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to make a documentary about you. I said, sure, come on in. So we sit there, and he goes, but I gotta tell you right off, I'm not a fan. I said, no, I like your music. I'm just not a fan. So I said, well, that's fine. Then why do you want to make a documentary of it? And he said, well, because I saw you on a talk show, and you fascinated me. So he was the right guy. He wasn't going to kiss my ass. Okay. Now the last thing I'm going to tell you about, this is just, I'm going to get up here because I got to get to my bass in a minute, just before we do the next song, because I've had a very long career, a varied career, and this one knocked me for 6. I didn't see it coming. The year was 2016. I was standing on stage at Cambridge University in a cap and a gown, becoming honorary Doctor of Music. I didn't even graduate high school, that's at this point. So it's official, I am Dr. Quattro. The next time you want to see me, make an appointment. Okay, we're gonna go to another hit now, 1979, just get my boyfriend. Thank you, Palladium, yet again. Appropriate that they did that show at this place. This is my life. I want to leave you with a very special song. It's something I wrote in tribute to the man who is the reason I do what I do. I recorded it in Nashville with his original guitar player, not his original guitar player, the one that came after, James Burton, and his original backing vocal group, the Joleniers. I'm talking about the king of rock and roll, Mr. Elvis Presley. This is my tribute to him, and it's called Singing with the Angels. Elvis has left the building. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Well, good morning from London. It's Thursday the 16th. It's about 8:30 in the morning. After another brilliant show last night at I forgot what it was called now, the London Palladium. I'm now sitting outside King's Cross Station because I've got to go home via Newcastle again because the West Coast line is closed for maintenance. So got a train booked for 9:30, and I'm going to get myself a coffee, maybe a bit of breakfast, see how I feel. Anyway, catch you later. So just about to board my train now, looking for K. So it's quite a fast train, this one. First stop York, then Darlington, then Newcastle.
Edinburgh, now calling at Newcastle and Edinburgh. Please take a moment to double check you have got a valid ticket if you're travelling on an advanced single station before the 11:19 of today's date. Tickets marked for any other date, time or train operator will not be valid. A few moments time, the doors will be locked and closed for departure.
Thank you.
Almost done. That's me in Newcastle on the train to Carlisle. I'll be home in about an hour and a half. Okay, just coming into Carlisle now. Nearly home. Can't decide whether to walk it or get the bus.
We're now arriving at Carlisle, which is our final stop. If you've booked assistance, one of our team will be on the way to help. Please take a few moments to check you have everything with you and keep your tickets handy as you may need them to exit the station. Next time, why not book your journey in advance and save using the Northern app or at northernrailway.co.uk. Thanks for choosing Northern, and we hope you've enjoyed your journey.
So as I was saying, I think I might walk because it's a nice afternoon, although it'll tire me out, like, but they say exercise is good for you. Right, so as I say, just coming into Carlisle station. A lot of people seem to be keen to be getting off the train. They're all up on their feet already. We're on at the back of B&M. Question now is, where do I go next? What's my next little adventure going to be? Maybe somewhere hot? Haven't
We're now arriving
decided.
at Carlisle.
Well, 2 or 3 weeks around first, and then I'll make a decision.